I went from making $0 over my first 2 years to making over $1 million in commission the last 2. I started as a real estate agent in July 2011, and I put so many hours into fine-tuning this craft. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever done, and I'm glad I did it. I'm going to share with you what I learned, and hopefully that can influence you to taking a similar path or realizing that it's just not quite right. Usually the first question is, should I be a commercial or residential real estate agent to start? And the response most give is, if you like numbers, be a commercial agent. If you like emotion, be a residential agent. This isn't a bad start to the answer, but there's a lot more nuance that you need to think about. This is a life-changing decision. Take the time before you rev up that engine to understand all the details, not just on being a commercial or residential agent, but if you actually want to be an agent at all. Because if you do this, you're going to want to quit. 100%. At some point, you're going to have doubts. It's the nature of the beast. You're going to be attacked non-stop in multiple psychological ways. The better prepared you are for these attacks, the more likely it is that you're going to make it over that hump. It's like you're going into battle, and in some ways, you really are. This business is not for the faint of heart. I didn't make any money for 20 months, and even then, it was a commission check for $13,000, and it barely closed too. My next check, it didn't come for another few months, and that was only $5,000. And that was me focusing non-stop on real estate. This is the agent life, well below the poverty line, being put down constantly, dealing with people that are irrational, getting your hopes up every month or two to be crushed down. Seriously, this is the reality. And I was only given a glimmer of this at the start. If I heard it though at the beginning, I wouldn't have believed it anyway. The point of knowing is mainly this. It sets your expectations and gives you armor for when those blows come. So, do you still want to do this? Because if you do, I'm going to give you some weapons to succeed. Alright, time to like this video and hit that notification bell. I'd also be okay if you hit that pause button and wrote me a comment. But I guess I'm cool with you waiting if you need to get further in the video. Let's start simple with the terms residential versus commercial, because ultimately you're going to be specializing in a specific product type. Residential real estate can be single-family homes or condos. Usually, residential is when someone is buying a property as personal property to live in. Commercial real estate can be office buildings, shopping centers, strip malls, self-storage centers, industrial complexes, hotels or hospitality, and land. And then there's apartment buildings, which is sort of in the middle, I'd say. This is where I was thrown into the deep end with no preparation. Apartment buildings. Yikes, what a challenge they have been. They're considered residential investment properties, a mix of commercial and residential. They can be both personal property and also investments, because a lot of owners live in their buildings and rent out the other units. It's a hybrid of sorts. The numbers are important, but so are the emotions. What I was told at the beginning, and then I assumed from there, is that you can make a lot more money as a commercial real estate agent than as a residential one. False. You can get rich or financially ruined by both equally. They both don't discriminate. I know what some of the top agents make on both sides. It's very similar. If you do everything right as an agent over a long period of time in commercial or residential and become one of the best, you will make approximately $2 to $5 million a year. But that's after 20 to 30 years of working your ass off. Of course, there are outliers that make more or do it faster. And then there are many, many others who do everything right and make much, much less. This is just a framework for you to understand the end of the path to decide if you want to step onto it. Both commercial and residential real estate means dealing with mofos. Some real crazy mofos. There are emotions every which way in either situation. I didn't understand that when I was told at the beginning that commercial was all about the numbers. I think one way to decide is to understand the prospecting for business methods, because that is the heart of both. For commercial, including apartment buildings, it's all about the cold call. That's right, the cold call. Bum, bum, bum. The task that I will never forget. So many emotions come up for me when thinking about the calls made. I made over 80,000 calls. That is 80,000 calls of 10 seconds or longer. voicemails included. It's probably double or triple that when you include the disconnected numbers or the quick hang-ups. This is an example of some of my calls that I've made. Hi, Johnny? Hey Johnny, this is Eric White, the apartment specialist in West Los Angeles. You know, the market's been pretty damn strong recently, and I just sold a 5-unit pretty close to your 6-unit there on Barrington, and I think you'd be impressed at where your property's at in value. You know, I'm looking at my calendar, and I think we should find a time to get together. How about 10 o'clock on Tuesday? We'll just sit down, chat a little bit more about your building, and I'll share with you what I think yours is worth, and then, you know, we'll go over your options. How's that? Cool. Hey Johnny, this is. Hey, don't hang up. No. I'm not a telemarketer. Chill, man. No. I just want to share with you a few details. Hi. What the? An invaluable skill that has been burnt into my soul. It's a crash course education into sales and what it truly means to grind. Even if you fail, though, it will be well worth the pursuit and the lessons learned. But there's no doubt about it. If you want to succeed as a commercial real estate agent, cold calls is the path you must take. Cold calling is not as effective for homeowners and condo owners. There, networking and working open houses is more so the technique used. Thank you for getting to the end of this video with me, and I hope you can comment below and like this video. See you guys.